What were the gifts that had been swapped between Chinese Emperor Qianlong and Great Britain when the two first established diplomatic relations? Well, there might have been jade, there might have been gold, but it was a series of paintings that were treasured the most, so much so that they were hoping to make their way back to China. These rare works of art, acquired by a member of the British aristocracy in the late 18th century, will be up for auction next week in London. The 24 paintings depicting early UK trade relations were owned by John Crewe, cousin of George Macartney, who led the first British diplomatic delegation to China in 1793. Check it out.
They were first acquired in China between 1792 and 1794 by John Crewe, who is the youngest member of the McCarthy Mission, which was the first diplomatic effort between the British and the Chinese to establish formal diplomatic relations. There was an extremely lavish array of gifts that were given by the Qianlong Emperor to the British side, and also from the British side to the Chinese side. I think the meeting was fundamentally important because it was an effort to establish diplomatic relations between two important global powers, and it's had repercussions throughout the preceding more than 200 years to the present day, really. So we've got 24 paintings, and they're depicting various scenes of preparation of tea. Tea was one of the items which was discussed at the meeting because there was at that time a significant trade deficit because of the huge demand from Britain for Chinese goods, particularly tea and silks and other items. And so tea came to have a huge significance within English culture. The paintings have passed through the Crewe family, and they've been over 200 years in the same family. They were then exhibited in 1997 in a landmark exhibition, but at that time there were only 23 of the 24 included in the exhibition because one of the paintings went missing during the 1980s. And hours before we signed off on our printed catalogue, we had been preparing to sell 23 of the works. The 24th became available, and a deal was reached between the two sides, and we're delighted to be able to offer the 24 paintings, well, both for public exhibition and sale for the first time in their 200-year or more history. We've had a huge amount of interest, and as you can imagine, the story is great, but the objects themselves are of huge artistic and historical importance. The market for these kind of pieces is strongest in southern China, in Hong Kong and Guangzhou, and we have had a number of inquiries from that area, so it will be nice to kind of complete the circle in that sense and have them return to China.